Welcome to Diatech Snapshot presentation for some of the key features available in the current versions of NTI for Revit. NTI for Revit interface composes a main NTI for Revit ribbon, content browser, an NTI function browser palettes which float on the screen. Function browser can be added to and records your currently used tools. We also have discipline-specific palettes for architecture, structure, and MEP. We have a resources panel on the far right, which can control the function browser, help and feedback, and also gives you access to download your support files. The main areas of the ribbon are broken down into collaboration, views and sheets, parameters, task, annotation, our management tab. NTI for Revit processes data that's already inside the model. Using the Revit content browser. The Revit content browser panel is floating on the screen. Initially, it simply contains standard content which comes with NTI for Revit. This is fairly generic Danish content. Again, when you click on anything, you will discover that it has a preview. These are previews generated by the NTI's own preview generator. This is non-Autodesk technology. How do I set up my own? If I come down to settings, delete what I have here. If I click to create my own, my source file, then I have to set up a group be specific to that, and then I have to add content. If I include in sample content and the doors, I can see them both. If I remove the sample content, all I get is my Revit folder. This could equally be your own server library, your own cloud library, and if I hover over any of these, I get a full large preview. And again, these are our previews. As you see, you've got previews for all of them. And this is our proprietary technology, non-Autodesk technology. If I need to load any of them up, I can come down here and go insert. If I want to, I can come to this door, for example, expand it, get any of its subtypes, and there's a load button off here to the side. You can find it, close the functions, click load, and I can insert that door. And that is the content browser. Obviously, this can be used for anything, not just doors, windows. It can be used for columns, steelwork, anything else. Color schemes are located on the top of the ribbon. So first thing is we set up a color scheme, and then we go and add the composer. So if we click color schemes, and the first thing it allows us to do is to define which elements, which existing color schemes are there, do we want to modify them. So we're going to just set up a new color scheme, and we're going to set up a color scheme by doors, 4 doors, and we're going to set it up by override, not by view. So discipline filter, we're going to set this by architecture, so by architecture elements. What are we going to search for here? We're going to say doors. Select it, and then we're going to pump in the family elements up here. So color definition by value, and what are we going to pump in here? We're going to select color scheme entry by type, and then what do we want to do? Well, we're going to color these up. An awful lot of folks like to address this by this color. So on plan, the doors are going to be colored orange. We're going to give them the same color input and projection, that kind of thing as well. We are now going to go down here and say we can randomize the colors as well if we wish, but we're going to leave it as is. We're going to want to go apply the colors and click OK. Now you'll see nothing has gone on here because we haven't defined a particular door type as yet. But if we go back in now and have a look at the color scheme. So here's our door scheme, or here's our door. So if we go in here now, if we select a door type, so which door type are we going to add in here? So if we pull down here, select the door type and click OK. So now you'll see randomized colors for the different door types, and we're going to have to change the colors. So the way to do that is select them all very easily. Just change the color for one, change the colors for them all, and again, same over here. We can change surface patterns, leave those for later. We'll do this, click OK, and now you'll see all the doors on that level have all changed. So under color schemes, you may note that there's already been a color scheme set up for for partitions with fire retardation less than 20 minutes or more than 20 minutes. They've come up with certain colour schemes. What we're going to do here is leave them at that fire rating. If we apply those colours, now nothing may have happened on that. They've been set up by range. If we just set them to by value instead, you'll see we've got 0 value, 20, and 60 minutes now. If we just apply it this time, and if we click OK, you'll notice that we get change in the colour scheme applied to the floor plan. Now, if you notice, if we go down another level, you'll see on level 2 perhaps that has not been applied to the level below. But if we want to go into the colour composer, we can then say, let's generate fire composition, and we can add it to all of the floor plans, and we can say from fire partitions, apply the colours, and it's done for everything, as you can see. We can also then apply colour legend onto the drawing. You'll see here, this is what it's based on. Fire partitions, what way we want it to be. I'm just going to preview it here, see what it's going to be like. Click OK. I'm just going to place it. It's placed itself automatically here. Just going to drag it out, leave it there in the screen. And that's a rough overview of the colour composer. On the architectural panel of the ribbon, if we have a look at rooms and areas, and if we come up here and just click rooms, NTI For Revit will analyse all of the available spaces and create rooms everywhere. Obviously, in some cases, the rooms will have to be renumbered. There's a different tool for this. To renumber the rooms, if we come along, if we select sort and renumber, and if we select rooms, and it gives us an option on sort and renumber. Okay, to rename rooms, so come to sort and renumber, click rooms, and under levels, we leave that set to 1. Under element %, if we set that to 0.1, you can select over here. You'll notice here that it's got a decimal point in it. Now that's because in the formula, there is a decimal point set in here. Remove that, click renumber again, and now you'll see they've all set back to 301, like they should. Click OK. Unfortunately, the next facet of this is the door numbers no longer correspond to the walls. So again, coming up to sort and renumber elements again. So excluding certain element parameters, so removing the %e parameter and just entering the formula %or will force the door to assume the number of the room. So when we click renumber, you will see, and if we go apply and OK. Now, in some solutions, these doors have been labelled A and B because that's the way they were originally. You'll have to go through the plans and you will get errors on the screen indicating to you that there are doors that cannot be renamed because they are named already. This is where the software has tried to do it and then is trying to do it again. So work through that manually. Sheets and views. So in this case, we're going to generate sheets and views by rooms. If you were tasked with creating sheet 3D or 3D views of the inside of a room and accompanying 2D views, plans, etc., it's a long, arduous task. To do that in Revit itself would require making copies of individual views with, copying them as dependent with detailing. Lots of work involved. However, we have a new methodology here of doing that in NTI For Revit. So what we're going to do here is, if I select these rooms by the level, and then by the name, and then by the department. So what I'm going to say here is on the O3 story, I'm not going to select all of the rooms here. It's going to take too long. So in terms of selection, on the floor and on conference room and on instruction, I've selected 2 classrooms only, selected by lobby, selected by media review room, selected by men's toilets generic, and female toilets, and on the lounge as well. Further selections, if I go to 2D views, and these are the parameters I'm going to select for 2D views. We're going to select the duplication method as duplicate as dependent. We could select just a duplicate or duplicate with detailing. We're going to create Images of the views, yes. So it'll just be called image. 3D views will be, again, create 3D views and duplicate with detailing. The default will be room view name they'll be associated with. The view type will be 3D view. We can have a section box on that which will be hidden. And the front walls, which is important, will be transparent so you can see inside. In terms of sheets, we'll be creating a sheet for each one. The 2D view locations will be started in the top right corner. 3D view locations will be starting in the bottom left corner to give them enough space. Typically, they're larger. The viewport type 2 will have a title on it. Viewport type 3D will have a title with a line on it. The sheet template. This is important. We don't have one loaded, and this is highly specific. Now, in this case, I've gone back. I've re-added the template A4 named down here, and the viewport location guides are set up. I've also checked the boxes out not to redraw existing views and sheets just for the moment. It'll take less time. Any warnings will be presented in this section of the dialog, and I'm going to click Run. And again, we get the usual processing dialog for the task processing. Once complete, you will notice we would get a warning as expected for the lobby because it's too large to fit on one of the sheets. We're going to click Close. Let's have a look at the generated sheets. For example, here we can move the lobby 3D view over. Let's have a look at one of the media rooms. So again, we can move all of these views over. If you want to zoom in on one of the views, you can see that the front wall has been set up in such a way that it's been made transparent so you can see inside the room. If we have a look at the instruction areas, so again, the instruction rooms fairly much all the same. So that is how to use the views and sheets. In NTI, we also have some great publish tools. On the far left of the ribbon, as you can see, we can publish PDFs, DWGs, DXF files, DGN files, SAT files, DXFs, DWFs, IFCs, and then WCs. To showcase this, I'm just going to click Publish PDF. Now, we have a built-in Publish PDF driver. In this section, I'm going to select all sheets and views. For naming, I'm going to select this by, I can either create a custom task or I can create a task name. I can select naming is by views. Now, where can I select to publish to? I can select a folder, or I can select SharePoint, or I can select Autodesk Docs. In this case, the location has been set to a specific project. I can choose a different project. I can pick a different project here. I can click OK. I'm not going to do that today. And preview file names. I can select a section either of all the views, some of the views, doesn't have to be all of them. I can set sorting options. I can go to a setup. I can set the page printing options, the raster qualities, processing, vector processing options for CAD drawings if they're attached. I can also set this to merge to one single PDF. On the all sheets option, as you can see, I can do it this way. And all views option if I want to do that as well. At the moment, I'm just going to set it to all sheets and views. And then I can save that, and I can save and publish as well if I want to. I'm just going to close it. I'm not going to publish up to docs today. Similarly, if I want to publish DWGs, I can set the same sort of location. I can say all sheets, and I can do something like the sheets which are published here. I can do sheet number with DWG. I can set them out to maybe a folder, and I can place them into this demo folder, and I can set sorting options, and I can go setup, and then I can go save and publish and click save, and it'll start to save up my DWGs. Then to review the results, if we come to our NTI For Revit demo folder, and we'll see here's a list of the DWGs that got published, and these are the files that we were working on. Importantly, if we need to publish NWC files, we need to have the correct WC exporters installed. You always have to make sure that they are the most current versions. So again, you'll create a new export to Navis task and set it up and select your setup here. And then you can set up a location. So you can set it to docs, or folder or SharePoint. And I'm just going to set this to folder for the moment. And I'm just going to click Save and Publish. And as again, you'll see, you've got to install the NW exporters. Very quickly, if we want to go IFC, and again, publish IFC, we can go in and set up a new publish IFC. I'm not going to worry about many changes in here. We're just going to save and publish. Once created, you'll see that the IFC file is down here. Under Excel tools, let's have a look at our Excel link exporting. So Excel link export, and in this case, let's have a look at our room finish schedule, and it's generated a little preview. So in here you can see in the grey area, these are things that we cannot change on linking, and in the white area, these are the things we can change. In this case, we're going to export the finishes to somebody else, like an interior designer, get them to change it and send it back to us, maybe in an email. We're going to check the box to open after export. We're going to click export. I'm going to send it out here to my folder and replace this pre-existing version. And then we click OK. Examining the Excel sheet, you'll see again, we can filter it. In this case, I want to filter out the different areas. I basically want to filter out the various different areas here. I just want to select the instruction areas. So I just want to select all of the instructional areas here, and then change the finish on them to oak flooring. Similarly, if we go back and select the toilet areas, and if we change these to ceramic tiles, and then save the sheet, and then if we go back to Excel tools, if we go Excel link import, select the room finishes schedule, you'll see there's a date on it for today. Click open, and you'll see that these are the green options that we can choose. And if you just click OK, so we've accepted the options. So if we drop down to level 2, and if we look here at room 204, and we'll see the base finishes now oak flooring. We have a look at maybe any other room here, labeled instruction, maybe 202, that's oak flooring. If we have a look now at room labeled men, and the base finish is now ceramic floor tiles. Similarly, women is labeled ceramic floor tiles also. And that is Excel linking. Legend generator. Up to now, when you generate legends in Revit, it's been quite difficult. You've been stuck creating your legend from annotation and adding components and putting components in and just adding in elements to blank sheets on the Legends tab. It's long-winded and difficult. However, with NTI For Revit, if we go into our legend generator, and in here I'm going to create a new door schedule, graphical door schedule. I'm going to create all doors from the entire project, and yeah, they're just going to be architectural elements. Hide unused, so doors, hide unchecked. Click continue. So what do I want to select from here? So again, the representations, first of all, that I'm going to use. So I've got a floor plan representation. And because some of the doors in this project are quite large, I'm just going to say 50 is the scope of the containing wall that I want to see. I'm going to add in, so that's on floor plan. I also want to add in elevation front and back. So in 3D last. So I can get a floor plan view, elevation view, front view, rear view. Add in 1950 for all of them. Copy and paste that in to each one. You can actually add a dividing break line between them as well. I'm just going to change to the name. It's got door legend in the header. Then what details do I want to see in here? Well, if I come down here to the instance parameters, let's see, do I want to see the family name? Is that in the width? Is that in the height? Let's also add in, get a count from that, move that up. Let's add in the level, add in the fire rating. Then we can reorganize everything in here. So let's bump these up. We can come down and add in the frame material. And that should be it. So if we click create, and we'll get a dialog box that'll spit out for a while. As soon as it's complete, you can see a preview. And we can zoom in inside. We can pan around. As you can see, we can go back in here. We can reorganize the details. Before we're finished with this, we can modify things. We can leave the legend components over there till the end. We can go and recreate it. So in this case, now that we've changed it, we can go back in, have a look at the preview. We can have a look at the layout settings. So again, you can see the layout settings in here. We can have a look at the text settings for it. You can see the scale. Everything in here is 1:100. You can see the line types are thin lines. Got a legend title, obviously, which we can turn on or off. Single lines, got sorting, turn on and off, change sorting. And we can also split the legend across various different sheets also. Splitting the legend allows us to split them across multiple sheets, multiple legends, split them numerically or A to Z. We'll leave it like that for the moment. Click OK. And now over here we have our door schedule. Zooming in, click on the individual items. You see they actually are individual items, just like legend items. All the text is selectable, changeable. However, if you regenerate the schedule, it'll be modified again back to the original. And finally, let's have a look at the Find and Select tool. So on NTI For Revit, and if we come down here to the Manage panel, Find and Select. So we're going to select from the entire project in session. So from project, in the filter list, we're going to go Show All. So we're going to remove everything except architectural elements. And then we're going to go in, have a look at the single flush doors. So just single flush. And I'm just going to apply that. And we've got 68 elements found in here. And then because we've got that, we're going to have a look at the M single flush door. You'll notice the size of most of them, I think, is about 915. The size does vary, but we are going to replace them all. Something with a larger, more disabled access friendly. I'm going to change them to the 1010 by 2100 in all cases and apply that. In case we insert conflict, I think we've got 1 of 8, maybe more. I'm going to have to manually address these. So let's see what we've got. So as you'll see now, nearly all of the doors have changed. So if we do a search based on that door type now, we should have 0 elements found. So we've found and discovered all of those door types, and we've replaced them all very quickly across the whole project. So if we look downstairs, we should not find a single instance of that door either. So that's Find and Select.